Cameron.
Yeah.
All right,
Picture perfect.
We're recording. That's all right. So, album dropping. Anytime now. Christian's over there. He thinks he's not in the album, but he's definitely
in the album.
He's in the album.
He's a secondhand man.
I know. So Cameron, factory Honda, HRC? How do I say it exactly?
Read it down the list. What is it? Factory Honda HRC Progressive.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mechanic for 96 Hunter Lawrence.
Yep.
Talk to us a little bit about what it's like, one, being a factory mechanic, two, working and wrenching with Hunter.
Well, to start it off, you could imagine being a privateer racer, struggling, paying for parts, using this bit of your paper towel, trying to make everything last as long as possible. When you start working at this level, everything's at your disposal. I mean, graphics, the bikes are always looking bitchin', the suspension's always new, you get tires up the yin-yang, whatever you need, it's there for you to use. So we're obviously not overstepping our boundary and just being a parts changer. That's what we don't like. But we do take the time and polish it up, make the frames look good. But that, just having it at your disposal, being in such a wicked shop, Ricky Carmichael, Jet Lawrence, Perfect Seasons, that's badass.
What's the biggest misconception that a lot of people have about being a factory mechanic that you think?
It's still 100% all of the work. People don't
Besides
see
tires, we
don't have to change tires.
Yeah.
Everyone goes home Sunday. We're still here Sunday rebuilding the bike. We don't get back till Monday. We go to the shop on Tuesday, and if we're lucky, we'll have Wednesday off, and then right back on airplane on Thursday. So those are the parts that people don't see. They just see us in the glamour, behind the camera, just look like we're having a ball every day.
You are.
And then, absolutely. But then you have your bad days where something goes wrong. The chassis ain't right, and you're just to the
working, grinding.
Yeah.
Is there anything you have a harder time doing with bikes, or is it just kind of whatever at this point now?
There's things you don't like. Nothing's really hard. Test days are probably the hardest days we'll have, especially in summer in Florida. It's just grueling.
Grind.
You wake up and you step out the door, you're sweating. And then on top of that, the bikes are hammered. You're swapping shocks in and out, swapping whatever if we're doing engine stuff, clutch components, all that crap.
How quick do you think you could tear a bike completely apart and put it back together?
We do it in a day.
So a full day. But if you were really in a rush,
it just depends. There's so many variables. If the bike's all clean,
100% clean, as you see it here,
down up.
Yeah.
So down is usually about 45 minutes.
Okay.
And then organize your bolts, and then back up is typically about 3 hours.
Okay, making sure everything's torqued.
Everything's ready and dialed and clean. Probably 3 hours up, another hour. Let's
say 4 or 5 hours.
4 or 5 hours.
That's pretty fun. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And then on a regular Sunday, you obviously have to clean every single part. So you tear down, clean every single part, assess everything, make sure your wiring harness ain't rubbing, make sure there's no dirt, shit in the connectors. And then once you get all that, organize your bolts, get your frame shined up, and then it's small assembly. So assemble all your brakes, assemble your airbox, all that stuff, and then you finally get to go up. And we're done anywhere from 5 o'clock to 6, 7 o'clock. Just depends on how run down we are.
Yeah. So as a Honda guy, I like to call myself a Honda boy myself.
Hell yeah.
I'm part of the crew.
Yeah.
If you want, I can do it where I can take the bike. I can take this bike right here and I'll take it home.
Okay.
And I'll bring mine back.
And we'll do that one?
And I'll swap the graphics and all that stuff, and you can just run that, and I'll keep this one at home.
Okay, well, we're going to have to
maybe
go
ask
with the boss, maybe a few things,
all right.
But
Damn.
We might be able to work something out. Maybe get you a practice bike.
Okay, well, that's step one. Can I get a bolt?
A bolt.
Yeah, I could just say, hey, I have a bolt in Hunter's bike.
If you got a check for me, any bolt you need.
It's in the mail.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's on the way. It's
Done
on.
deal.
I don't know your address, but it's in the mail.
It's in the mail. It's going somewhere.
No, but for real, on these grinding days that you've had, and Hunter hasn't had the performance that he's had, and there's a lot of been challenges. Not, I would say challenges, but you guys have had to kind of fine tune the bike as the season started.
Yes.
What is that like for you being a mechanic, having that stuff? Do you feel a sense of responsibility of
It's frustrating a bit because we do work now all preseason. Like, there's no off season.
Yeah.
So usually we take that time to get the chassis ready, get our settings good. But we were racing, and everything was all good up until we added whoops.
Yeah.
And then that's what really stirred things up. So it took us a lot of extra time, a lot of extra mental capacity, because A1's a week away, or was, and we're still not stoked.
Yeah.
And we go in, and you've seen our finishes A1.
Yeah.
Not all bike. There's some situations we're on the ground, but the boys weren't pumped.
Yeah.
So going into San Diego, everybody's like, what did they do?
Yeah, you guys, yeah.
How they pull that off?
Quick.
There's some stipulations that they
Hunter
thought
got
we were-
sick too, though, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he was ill. We didn't even do ceremony.
Yeah.
So he stayed back and just saved as much energy as he could, and they were happier. Clearly,
Yep.
both the boys did a lot better.
Way better.
And
Yeah.
even Jet still got some work to do.
Mhm.
Who knows? Did the boys raise the bar? Is Eli going faster? Is Chase going faster, or is Jet still in a bit of a struggle? That's what everybody's talking about. Right?
So I've always said is that everybody, and I even told Hunter this, I think a lot of people count Hunter out more than they ever should. I really think he's
always the silent
oh
assassin.
my gosh, he 100% can win races, and I even said he can definitely win this championship.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, no, you're insane. I'm like, dude, he runs, everything that he's had is very out of character of what I expect and what he expects for
He
himself.
always does a little more.
Yes.
And
yeah.
it shows. I mean, he being sick, his body wasn't right too.
Yeah.
He had a bit of a crash before
Yep.
A1, and so even with all of that, to go do a top 5 is
very good.
Like, even Dazzy after the race came and fist bumped me,
Yeah.
smiles for miles, because we knew he put 100% effort in, and he top 5, one of the best guys in the world. So I can see him doing even better this weekend. Podium,
Oh, let's get on the top.
fight for some wins.
Yeah.
No,
I always
sure.
tell him, I'm like, give your brother a little bit of crap, and like, you're the older brother. You got to stay on the top step.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, all right, we'll run press. That's why you're here so early doing all this stuff, is doing press day.
Yep.
But thank you for doing this and give us a kind of like a behind the scenes look of what
Absolutely.
factory.
I'm always here for the fans and
Yep.
for the media, trying to give everybody an idea of what we actually are
Yeah.
doing, what we're going through. how
The
we're
unsung
feeling.
heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We try. We do
For
our
sure.
best to make sure this thing crosses the finish line every weekend.
All right, good luck this weekend.
All right. Thank you.